Alright, y'all, welcome back to the show. Once again, we got another special guest right here, real quick. For the people that may not know, you want to let the people, what's your name, where you're from?
Yo, what's up? It's 247Zay. I'm from Oakland, California.
Fly out of town on the East Coast bowling. I got Zaza, I got light dance too, nigga. I'm gon' do me, give a fuck about you. When I come down, she gon' bust like my toe. Taking shots back to back, girl, you got the last laugh. I could give you back shots, how you want me to?
Yeah, alright. How would you describe the type of music that you make?
It's so hard to use a genre because I pull from so many different places, from like Afro beats to rock, to different shit, alternatives and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really just would describe it with like a mix of like melodic stuff with the futuristic, trippy, alternative wave. I think that's
okay.
The main thing I keep in. I've been fucking with the bouncy stuff a lot too.
Yeah. Alright, what made you get into that specific style? Because that sounds like super niche, super unique, you know?
I feel like I've been on a music development journey, so every time I get in the studio, I'm always just want to reach something that I've never really reached before.
Okay.
And just after going through so many cycles of that, it eventually started to hone in to me, like the things that I like versus things I don't.
Okay. You have a couple big songs with Lil Ricefield back in the day, and says Yoda in them.
4 grams in the wood, got a young nigga flying. Yo, bitch, door open like my motherfucking iris. Got packed for the low, like my motherfucking eyelids. I keep my head up, ain't no time for the whining. When I hit, she gon' run from that dick like a joke. Bitch, I'm lit, smoking on 2 blunts like I'm smoking. Shawty shit, her friend with my dick, she look like Bonaparte. Napoleon, white bitch, yellow bitch, chocolate.
And some people may know you from that. But what people may not know that I noticed is that on Lil Ricefield's YouTube channel, the first video that he dropped, it was 7 years ago, and it was with you, and it got like 100,000 views or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, what led to that? How did you get there?
So me and Seiji used to be in a group called ISM. That's when we started making music together. And we dropped that song pretty much right after high school. I think I literally recorded that while I was on tour in the hotel.
Damn.
So
while you were on tour, so you were already touring by the time.
Yeah, I was touring with Bieber when we dropped that.
Oh wait, so let's take a little detour to that section too. So you were touring with Bieber. So what do you mean, Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I was dancing back up on the Purpose tour.
Okay, how did you land that role right there?
I literally just went to the audition.
Really?
Yeah, I drove all the way from the Bay straight to the audition. We made it right in time. I was with my ex at the time, and I just locked in. I didn't even talk to any of my friends walking in. I just had my headphones and just locked in.
Well, so what got you into dancing? How long have you been dancing for then?
I've been dancing for real, training since I was 10. So like it's been a long time. I got into dance when I was a kid. I seen a performance, and I definitely was just like, I could do that. And I started dancing with like New Style, Motherload, a lot of different turf dancers, like Footwork. He trained me. And then I kept going back and forth between LA, like with the turf dancers out here, and then the industry in LA, and then just mixing it and working like that.
Yeah. All right. What style of dance were you doing, would you say?
Popping, turfing, and choreography is definitely like my comfort zone, but I have training in like modern, contemporary, and technique too. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So what? How were you able to get so good to the point where Justin Bieber recruited you to be on his like team and stuff?
I honestly think Oakland has a lot to do with it. The popping training that I had here, like my hits, the way that I pop versus the way that most people understand it in LA is completely different. But I also would attribute that to the fact that popping came from the Bay Area too. It's originated in San Francisco with Demons of the Mind. That was like one of the original popping crews.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit further, I feel like, advanced with that out here. So then when I mixed it with the choreography, I do really well in auditions.
Oh, interesting. So you took that influence from the Bay Area popping and mixed it with like more, I guess, like you could say, was it like mainstream choreography?
Yeah, like more industry stuff.
Yeah, and that kind of caught their eyes and was like, oh, exactly. We gotta get him on here.
They always want something authentic. So
yeah. Damn. So you were able to bring that with you on stage while you were on tour?
Oh yeah, I was definitely always hitting turtle moves every chance I got.
Damn. How many different cities did you go in? How long? What span of time?
It was pretty much 2 years, and it was a world tour. So
damn,
we went to Rio, London, Australia. We were all over South America, Chile.
Yeah,
hella different cities.
That's crazy. What was it like going from one city, then you got to wake up the next day, boom, go to another city, another state? Was that hella hard to get the hang of?
Yeah, it was wild for sure. I was the youngest person on the tour too, so I had never done anything like that before. But I definitely enjoyed the experience. Like, I'm grateful that I went through that, and I got to see a lot of different people throughout the world, which gave me more perspective to bring back.
Yeah. All right, I got a couple more questions about that. So, what are all the countries that you actually went to?
I don't even know if I'd even be able to remember them.
Damn, hella. Do you remember at least like how many different countries? And was it all through different continents? Like you went to Europe too, or like Africa?
Yeah. So we went to a lot in South America. We went to a few different cities in Brazil. We went to a few different countries in Europe too. So yeah, I mean we were really all over the place. I was gone for like over 2 years pretty much.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. What was the craziest thing you've seen on tour? Any crazy moments? Any crazy experiences? Like, oh man.
I would say I saw a lot of crazy stuff. But most of it was just good things. Like, you know, a lot of beauty, just traveling the world and working, doing what you love. You know what I'm saying? So the main takeaway is just like, you know, being on stage. When you're on stage with hundreds of thousands of people in the audience in these coliseums and arenas, there's no feeling quite like that.
Yeah, right. Were you nervous at first? You had to get over it, or were you just chilling?
I'm used to performing, so when I'm dancing and I like know exactly what I'm supposed to do, it's easier to like get through stuff like that. But it definitely gave me a base to like be able to work the audience. Yeah, especially with my music too. It's helpful to perform.
Yeah, so you feel like that kind of bled into your artistry now too?
Yeah, for sure. Even the way that I create my music, I think like the technique of me learning how to get better at dance, I'm able to easily just apply that to music. Right. That's why I was talking about like with genres and my spirals and stuff, like it's like I'm constantly trying to evolve.
Yeah. Okay.